Have you ever wondered why we call this everyday audio device a microphone? We use microphones everywhere. When recording music, making calls, filming videos, hosting podcasts, or even giving speeches. But the name microphone sounds a bit scientific, maybe even old-fashioned, like something pulled straight out of a 19th century laboratory. Why not simply call it a sound collector or voice amplifier? Well, like many inventions we rely on today, the name is a deeper story rooted in science, language, and early experiments in sound. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating origin of the term microphone, who coined it, and how it evolved into the essential device we use every single day. Let's explore, right here, on History of Simple Things. To understand why it's called a microphone, let's start with the word itself. The name microphone comes from a combination of two Greek words, mikros, meaning small, and phone, meaning sound or voice. Put them together and you get microsound or small sound. But wait, microphones aren't supposed to make sounds small, right? They're supposed to amplify them. The key is this. The earliest idea behind a microphone wasn't about making something louder for us to hear in real time. It was about capturing the tiniest vibrations of sound and turning them into something measurable. In other words, a microphone was originally thought of as a tool capable of detecting very small sounds, even if the human ear could barely pick them up. The name highlights the device's ability to take something subtle and convert it into a form we can work with, either visually, electrically, or through amplification. The term microphone didn't come from musicians, audio engineers, or broadcasters. It actually emerged in the world of 19th century science, long before the modern microphone as we know it even existed. The word was first used by Sir Charles Wheatstone, a British scientist and inventor best known for his work with telegraphy and acoustics. Around the 1820s and 1830s, Wheatstone used microphone to describe a scientific instrument designed to magnify faint sounds, not electronically, but mechanically. Some of these early experiments involved placing objects like rods, plates, or boards against the ear to detect tiny vibrations. Wheatstone's idea of a microphone was essentially a sound magnifier, something that made it possible to hear sounds that were otherwise too quiet or too delicate for the ear alone. He didn't create the electrical microphone we know today, but he did give us the name that would later be adopted for it. The name microphone took on a new meaning in the late 1800s with the invention of devices that could convert sound into electrical signals. This is where Thomas Edison, Emil Berliner, and David Edward Hughes enter the picture. These inventors developed some of the earliest versions of microphones used for telephones, sound recording, and broadcasting. Hughes, in particular, created the carbon microphone in 1878, a groundbreaking invention that could pick up voice vibrations and turn them into electrical currents. Interestingly, Hughes decided to keep using the word microphone to describe his invention, even though it worked differently from Wheatstone's original device. The scientific world accepted the term, and it stuck. The meaning shifted from a tool for hearing small sounds to a tool that converts sound into an electrical signal. This evolution of meaning is a perfect example of how technology reshapes language, preserving old names even as devices change drastically. Even with all the advancements in technology, from carbon microphones to ribbon mics, condenser mics, dynamic mics, and digital recording, the name microphone still fits. Modern microphones do exactly what the original name implies. They take tiny sound vibrations, vibrations so small that our ears might not fully detect them, and convert them into something more usable. Whether the output becomes an audio file, an amplified signal, a radio broadcast, or a live stream, the principle is the same. The microphone captures the micro details of sound, every whisper, breath, vibration, and nuance, and transforms them into energy that can be processed, adjusted, or made louder. Even in high-end studio microphones, the key focus remains sensitivity, accuracy, and clarity in capturing small sounds. So while the microphone has evolved dramatically from Wheatstone's early experiments, the name still perfectly describes its purpose. Today, the microphone has become more than a scientific tool. It's a cultural icon. Think of famous singers holding iconic microphones, podcasters talking into big studio mics, gamers using headset mics, and smartphone users relying on tiny built-in microphones for calls and voice commands. And yet, despite all these variations, every microphone performs the same essential job: capturing small vibrations of sound and turning them into something that can be reproduced or transmitted. From the earliest mechanical devices that amplified faint noises to the ultra-sensitive digital microphones in modern electronics, the name microphone has stayed consistent for nearly 200 years. It's a reminder that behind every piece of advanced audio technology, there's a foundation built on simple scientific curiosity, on people who were fascinated by the idea of making invisible vibrations understandable. Knowing the story behind the name helps bring appreciation not just to the device, but to the long history of innovation that supports everything we record, hear, and communicate today. So the next time you pick up a mic, whether you're singing, recording, live streaming, or speaking, remember that the word you're using is almost 2 centuries old. It started with a scientist listening to faint vibrations and evolved into a name that defines one of the most important audio tools ever invented. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.